See the whole, know the constraint, and focus your workforce where it counts, is our philosophy in a nutshell. Where should you spend your effort and money to make the most progress in the shortest time? Technology has never been more useful, more disruptive of established industries, or had more potential to influence our future. Speed is the engine for innovation. The faster you innovate, the more value you create. And projects are its mechanism. So you'd think today's organizations would be project masters. The results tell a different story. The majority of projects fail to deliver their business case. They're over budget, late, reduced in scope, or simply cancelled. So what's the problem? We see three, all interconnected: a lack of visibility, control, and focus. Let's look at visibility first. Most resources are not aligned to where they're most needed. On top of that, resources are underused. Executives simply can't see the money they're wasting. This is a chart for a big IT project in a tier 1 retailer. It shows the value gap between the capacity they're paying for and the actual load. Yet work somehow expands to fill the time. Many equate busyness with value. It's a delusion. They may be working hard, but how effective are they? At all levels, people lack the tools to navigate complexity, how to see when they're going off course or not doing value-adding work. Project speed is governed by the weakest link. The scout troop can only move as fast as the slowest scout. If you don't know the constraint, you can't focus your workforce where the leverage is, or anticipate problems and pivot your resources to address them. Large organizations struggle to reassign resources to where they'll add most value. At what point should Nokia have been testing in new directions? If you're a bank, you're probably working on a mobile payment system, 24/7 online access, personalization. Great. Then along comes blockchain. What's your business case? How many people will you need? What type? When? What will you have to stop doing to accommodate the new demands? What effect will it have on your forecast results? Yet it's not only about reacting to newcomers. It's about doing the projects you already planned more effectively. The failure to deliver what you promised, with projects often killed outright, failure to do it on time and on budget, lack of resource control means lack of financial control, plus the cost of people locked in today's work at the expense of tomorrow's opportunity. So that's the problem. What's the solution? We call it Maestro, a new operating system for work and a better user experience. See the whole, know the constraint, and focus your workforce where it counts. Here's our metaphorical organization. Who plays the instrument? And how do you coordinate them? Large organizations need to play in time together, in harmony with each other. They already use multiple systems. Maestro integrates them all into a single standardized view. It's very API friendly, working with any open database architecture. Resource management is about synchronizing different roles to create an effective performance. With our tools, you can clearly see the true value of a day, and the 3 value levers our tool enables. So your project plan has a due date. If you can bring that date forward, you start getting the benefit sooner. On top of that, doing it faster usually means doing it cheaper. And it also frees up your team sooner for the next big thing. Now, that second project will now also realize its benefits sooner, and so it goes. With our tools, the opportunity cost of every day late or the benefit of every day delivered early becomes clear. Here's a real example from a live project. Our client was quite nonchalant at hearing that a task was going to take another 5 days to complete. When we noted that the task was on the critical path and every day delayed was valued at $250,000, he changed his mind about where to focus. An organization is a system. When you think in systems, you see that the rate of value creation is governed by the constraint. The rest of the system must subordinate itself to that focal point. This Pareto chart shows the load on resources. It's really a constraint finder. Managers typically want everyone to be busy. Say 80% utilized so that costs can be recovered. but that's a fool's errand. Focus your efforts on the constrained resources. Optimize at this point and collaborate around it. Non-constrained resources are your friends. They have capacity available. This common sense approach is called theory of constraints, a beautifully elegant system based on the principles behind physics. Common sense, yes. Unfortunately, though, not common practice. We aim to change that with our technology. In the project world, theory of constraints combines the rigor of waterfall with the flexibility of the agile method. The synthesis can be contained in critical chain project management. One quick example of its mathematical basis. Demand for resources typically varies across projects over time. This variability is why accurate resource predictions are so tricky. Standard plans treat each project and its resources as independent variables. The cost of ramping up supply to meet the maximum demand in each case is prohibitive, but the service level suffers if we don't address those spikes in demand. So instead, we aggregate the demand for resources across all tasks from all projects into a single pool, creating an even distribution. Planning our resources to meet this average demand for work is now much easier when you have the ability to effectively assign pool resources to the correctly prioritized tasks. Beyond the theory of constraints, we aim to introduce artificial intelligence and machine learning to predictively manage work within large projects. Additionally, our experience has taught us that TOC and systems thinking are hard, counterintuitive concepts to get across in book or lecture form. You have to experience them. So we aim to use virtual and augmented reality to make learning intuitive, playful, and more memorable. Finally, on complex projects, someone has to lead. Our tools provide visibility at all levels. Through our science of work, we can measure, at any stage in the life cycle of the project, how much is complete versus the risk of completing on time. Projects go late one day at a time. The fever chart provides an early warning system like no other, showing management where to focus those projects in the red. Even if the green projects go live next week and the red not for 6 months, the team should focus on the red. And of course, these tools are available in real time, in the cloud and on mobile. Here's the desktop login. And here's the Kanban view of the work, all easily managed with filters so you can see your own work. And here's the live mobile app icon, the login, the list of work, and its priority or readiness. I hope this demonstrates the power behind our mantra. See the whole, know the constraint, and focus your workforce where it counts. Maestro really does uplift performance of your whole system. There are the 3 levers that you can pull. Promise your business case with absolute confidence. Reduce your cash burn by being frugal with your resources. Tackle the next big thing sooner. This not only generates more profit, it creates more engaged people who are motivated by understanding the value they bring. So who's the economic buyer of Maestro? Ambitious executives who must balance risk versus return on complex value propositions. Project organizations no longer have to give away profit to their vendors who take on the delivery risk. They can manage it themselves. We already work with Tier 1 enterprises. Here's a selection of our greatest hits. Our tools help them move from adversarial to collaborative contracting. This means better ways of managing variation orders, the ability to keep billing on check, and addressing the imbalance in the consequence of failure. Soon we'll offer our product to firms that work with Tier 1 organizations, such as these. Again, the same contracting benefits work for the vendor too. It's a win-win. And they can also offer Maestro to their clients, which enables the product to scale without Ensemble Consulting Group as the constraint to more widespread distribution. Later on, we see great value for other kinds of organization, helping to manage regular work, different types of production, and the depth of their bench. Lawyers, architects, design folk, all could benefit enormously. Who will use Maestro as a work management tool? Well, everyone in the organization, from wherever they are. The roadmap looks like this. Today we have an enterprise tools and work management tools. As they mature, the enterprise version will add more daily collaboration functions, while the work management product will adapt our enterprise resource management tools for smaller teams. This all has huge potential. It's a $6.6 trillion market, with many millions of people working specifically in project management. And many organizations are still stuck squarely in the 20th century. Spreadsheets just don't cut it anymore. But it's highly competitive. With so many employees used to social media, collaborative work management tools are swimming in the same water as the big fish and their enterprise tools. But just as fish are oblivious to the water they swim in, we think that both types of tool miss the point. Our difference, our blue ocean, is that we focus on the real work, the bottleneck work, the hard work often hidden under the surface. Our Maestro UX solution makes our innovations in productivity practical and user-friendly. And productivity is a rising tide that lifts all ships. Reich is a work management tool that's raised $26 million. They say you don't have to change the way you work to use Reich. We say, if you want remarkable results, you have to change the way you work. Maestro will show you how. Jeff Bezos talks about how frugality can be a constraint that drives innovation. The way to get out of a tight box is to invent your way out. So why believe us? We've been doing this for a while. We offer both the technology and the consulting to maximize its effectiveness. And it's all backed up by our method and the science of work. The science of work aligns the planets to bring real, indisputable results, such as this one, when every hour delivered early meant $250,000 extra profit, and we brought it in 3 weeks early for $100 million additional profit. Which is why we're confident when we say, see the whole, know the constraint, and focus your workforce where it counts. Thank you.